Now you've mastered the cliffhanger. Because I watched the third season, I got to watch it as I was going, but I'm usually not caught up. Like, Lost doesn't affect me ever. When I was watching the Guild, I was like, oh, I need to watch the next episode. Especially the episode, I forget the number, forgive me, where the guy comes out who's a cop, a police officer.
Oh, yeah, Blaze.
Thank you. Yeah, Blaze is getting in trouble, and he's like, oh, he's a police officer. He's like, hey, welcome from the... Yeah, I thought that was brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
And so, is that your editing, or is that somebody else that edits it?
I don't edit the episodes. Sean Becker, the director, for the last, for season 2, 3, and now 4, he's the editor.
I meant like, yeah.
As far as the writing goes, yeah, it's very important, I think, in web series to keep people wanting, if you're doing a web series with continuing storylines, you want to have people want to see what happens next, because some of the problem with web series is that people are so distracted on the internet, even if they love a show, they'll forget to go watch an episode. So you do want to leave people, in my mind, wanting more, because that's how, if I was watching a show, I would want to do that. So yeah, it's very important to have the right cliffhangers, and sometimes they change around, but usually I do write to a cliffhanger. And that one in particular was definitely, we wrote to it, and it was just so funny, my God. Vince, who plays Blades, literally could not keep a straight face. To the point where I was like annoyed at him. I'm like, okay, it was funny the first 10 times, but now, and then the guy playing Bruiser, Tedder, would do something a little bit different and just crack him up again and crack everybody up. So,
This is a pretty common problem on the set of the Guild. We're all comedians, like
very unprofessional.
Most of us have all worked together at the Acme Comedy Theater at one point or another. And it just becomes this meta game of let's make each other laugh.
Yeah, and on looser days it's really fun because we can get like just riff forever, especially with Vork and Zabu.
Yeah.
When they're in that office, like it's just crazy. It's crazy times. Like we could just do a whole other episode of just outtakes because people fool around a lot. But we do.
You should send Vork and Zabu off on like a Martin and Lewis Road comedy.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
I had the idea that they would get in that van and do something weird. Remember the Vork van, the weird, but we had, due to location issues, since we're very low budget, nobody wanted to keep that van in their driveway, so we gave it away. We were like, get rid of it.
No, it's cool. We gave it to a guy in a clown suit and a lot of candy. He was like, I need to have a place to put my candy.
Really good home.
Yeah.
You could have sold that on eBay and funded the fourth season by itself.
We were thinking about that, but we looked into it, and the charity rules for vehicles, there's liability. It was like, oh, business, let's just get rid of it.
Nice.
At a certain point, my boyfriend was like, get that thing out of the driveway.
We don't want it to leak.
Yeah.
Alright, is there anything else you guys want to talk about the Guild? Maybe promote anything about season 4 that you can tell us about?
I mean, no, just that Will's coming back. I mean, there's lots of, we've got a lot of really fun things going on this season. It's going to be a different kind of season. It's the storylines are a little bit more quirky, and there's some really fun character actors who come in. And I mean, every season I always want to do something different. So last season was super over dramatic, which I really thought fit, and the stakes were really high. For the integrity of the Guild. And this next season, I wanted to give the characters a little bit of a break and see them live a little bit, and just, have a little more light-hearted attitude. And I really think it came out well. There's some performances, especially by some characters you haven't seen in the forefront before, just crack me up so much. So I'm really excited for people to see it.
Okay, Q&A then, guys? Ready for some Q&A? Yeah? Alright, let's go to some Q&A.
Hi, Q&A.
Hello.
Hi. And why is it so low?
I don't know.
It's like made for children.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, the tall one. Okay. So, having never ever played one of these games before in my life, and still I have never, and now when my friends talk about it, I absolutely know what they're talking about. So, congratulations for unifying the world one more
Thank
step.
you. Creating addictions one person at a time.
What is it like for, how did you come up with the whole idea for the "Do you want to date my avatar" whole thing? How did you write out that song, and how did you have that creative process of doing the whole geeky thing in the codex form rather than in the SID form?
Yeah, thanks for asking. That was one of the privileges of doing things on the web. We work with very low budgets, and we generally have to scramble and scrimp everything we do. But the fun thing is that we have Microsoft is really a great partner. Nobody else would allow me to just call up on a whim and be like, "Hey, guys, I don't have a song, but I kind of have this idea that we're going to be dressed as our avatars, and I'll do a music video with it. Can you pay for that? And they're totally cool with it. They were 100% behind it. They don't ever supervise, micromanage what we do on the show. They really give us the freedom to do, what we want, because they trust that we're putting 100% into it. So it's just a real privilege to partner up with Xbox and sprint this season again, because I don't think anybody else has, the leeway that we have on the show. As far as the Date My Avatar video, we have an artist, Jeff Carlisle, who is a comic book artist and also an artist in his own, just an amazing person. And he volunteered for the show, like, very early on. And he said, I'm gonna make you a picture to sell at conventions. And he put us all in our avatar outfits. All of us, our heads on the avatar outfits. And, people just were like, oh my God, this is great, and they loved it. And I said, oh, that would be really cool if we ever had, the budget or the idea to kind of put ourselves in these costumes, which is expensive to build a costume. Everybody who has built a costume knows it takes a lot of time and effort. So it had to be the right idea to get that happening. And I was in the middle of writing season 3, which is kind of tough. Because there's so many characters I was juggling, and I would listen to really bad playlists of like, New Shoes and, Baby Got Back. Yeah. There it is, like every bad, terrible thing ever. Don't look at me like that. Anyway.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I love it. Tonight at the Geek Prom, if the playlist does not have every single one of those songs, I'm taking over. It has to happen. It has to be terrible. You're gonna dance too. Anyway, so basically I had this idea that, maybe I'll do like a music video. And I just came up with the title, just randomly, Do You Want to Date My Avatar? And for some reason, that just kind of just spurred the creative, juices. And, it doesn't happen all the time. Creating is very difficult, and that's why people stop a lot, because they feel like, this should be easy, this should be flowing. And that's not how being creative is. It's like lightning striking if something comes to you like that. So that just happened to be, and I emailed Jed on a whim. I was like, you probably don't want to do this because you're busy and cool, but you want to write this kind of geeky song with me? And he was in, and I sent him, the first stanza and the lyrics, and he reworked it a little bit and sent me back the chorus. And I was like, this is going to be huge. So, I don't know why. I just knew that people would enjoy it. And sometimes you have that blind faith, like this is really going to go well. So every step of the way was very difficult on our budget, and it was favors all around as usual. But, it was just that feeling, like this is so much fun to do. And that's how it came to be. So I'm just really glad that everybody enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making of it and the idea. It was a really long answer. I promise I'll shut up. I'm known for being long-winded. Yeah.
Who has Date My Avatar in their head right now?
Whoa, I'm sorry.
Well, it was that or whoop, there it is.
It's a good song.
And not all of us are writing right now.
Kylie Minogue has to happen tonight too.
Really?
Yes.
It will be done. I know that
Don't you want people to come?
We're gonna have a great time. Everybody, come on. Everybody loves those kind of songs, right? Thank you. There's some silent people. Whatever.
I'll text the manager who's doing it right now and have put down